Hey everybody, it's Matthew of Mr. Domestic. This video is going to be a product review slash demo of this Nido Mosquito English paper piecing product called English Paper Piecing Made Modern by Becky Campbell. It's adhesive and reusable papers that I honestly was kind of resistant about in the beginning, but now that I've been playing with it, it has like cut my hexie time in half almost, and I have been loving it to where I think this is going to be, at least at a minimum, my go-to method for doing hexies. Ooh. So if you're curious about this innovative and positively disruptive new technology in English paper piecing, then before we get into the content, anytime you're enjoying this video, make sure to give it the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now let's have some fun together, right? So the first thing that I want to show you is like the papers. I've used up most of this kind of paper, but they come in all different types and sizes. I don't know that you can really see it with the reflection, but let's whip out this one because I'm going to sew later with this 1.5 inch hexagon, and it comes in these sheets and you have to cut them. So I'll show you the actual cutting. I have a dedicated rotary cutter for paper, and then I have one for fabric so I don't get them mixed up. And I'm going to show you cutting out these now. And you just cut them out. When using this, it's definitely beneficial for you to have an add-a-quarter. So if you don't know about an add-a-quarter ruler, then make sure to get one because they're great for this kind of English paper piecing. I'm just going to estimate here. And for foundation paper piecing, it's definitely a notion that's changed my life. Okay, so here is one, right? And this one I'm going to save for later. But see how easy peasy pudding pie it is? And then from here, it just, see? And then this is adhesive, and then it goes onto the fabric. But now I'm going to show you what makes this so innovative and awesome and why I'm so super stoked about this one. So, let me get all my fabric. Yes, that was me reaching down to my floor. So this is what it looks like, right? All done out. And I'm doing this differently than Becky does it because I wanted to bring this into how someone who's been doing English paper piecing and loves it and loves their technique would be doing it. So I went with that and tried to find a way to integrate it for those type of English paper piecers. But Becky Campbell is great. I find her techniques super duper useful for those who are resistant to English paper piecing and those who maybe tried it and hated it. Then her techniques would be great for that. But for me and my demo, it's for the existing English paper piecer. So for this, I'm gonna do multiples. These stripes I should be able to get a couple for. And then since I already have a template, like I use my template and I cut it out. But I'll show you the way she suggests it also. So done. I know all you see is my hand. Look at the top of my hand. So yeah, good to go. And so the difference in what she suggests, if you don't have a template and you definitely want these shapes to be precise, then look, I am quite literally pulling this shape off of one that's already sewed into the center, and boom. What? I just attached back onto new ones. So this is where I'm going to take the add-a-quarter. This 6-inch add-a-quarter is better than the 12-inch add-a-quarter I found for this. And then just use this to cut this. And this is wackadoodle to me that I just took this off of something that I had already sewn and just attached it to new fabric. It's not going anywhere. And this one, I think this is my 4th time I've re-adhered this hexagon, and boom, 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 shake the room. We are good to go with this. So you do this with all of them, and let me show you how this is super duper helpful with fussy cutting. Okay, so I am going to take this one off, and then I'll show you how it helps with fussy cutting, right? Boom. And you gotta be slower to remove it. But okay, so this one, I know that I want it in the center, the medallion in the center. So this is what I've been doing. Ooh, I even ripped it and it does not matter, right? I can just put that right back on there and it still works. So, boom, see? Good to go. I think this is the last use for this one, but this one also is my 4th use. So each one of these can be used 4 to 6 times according to the instructions. And then on here, I'll go ahead and use this add-a-quarter again. And if you don't have an add-a-quarter, you can use like a regular ruler and just do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. But with these especially, I found that precise cutting, making sure all the shapes are the same, does help. And it'll super duper help for the second way. You can actually use these on your sewing machine, folks. But I'm going to show you first sewing these, right? So there's this one, there's this one. Let me get one more of these. I'm doing all of this in real time so that you can see. And honestly, like these, if you've English paper pieced before, and I know I'm like all over the place because I'm so excited about this product, but if you've English paper pieced before, that's not the final step. The final step before you sew is not putting the shape on there and just like set it and forget it. You have to either glue or thread base it, right? But the way that I'm using it, you don't have to. So I want to match this up with this one. So I saw that I put that on the yellow. That's getting kind of wonky. So that is right above the yellow. With these stripes, it's easy because I just match it so that these will be matched. And yay! So I'm gonna sew these two together. I have got my milliner needle, I have my thimble pad, I have my deco bob thread, and I'm just gonna sew 2 of these together so you can see what I do. Out of all the stitches out there for English paper piecing, I love whip stitching. It is mindless and it's lovely and I can't get enough of it. So that's what I do here. I just fold this over. So this isn't changing how I essentially already consume English paper piecing. By consume, that means how I do it. It's just making it easier for me. And the one thing that I was concerned about was like how the seams would lay. And I found that whether it's because of the stitches or me pressing onto it, that the seams lay afterwards. So this is how I line these 2 up, see right here. And this isn't a video on showing you how to whip stitch. I do have videos on that and I'll link a card there for English paper piecing. But see, this is exactly the same as I did before. And I'm just using light pressure to keep these in place. See? There, that's how I secure my first knot. And then now, I'm just gonna whip stitch it. And since there's no glue, for those that glue based, since there's no glue in there, like part of the, not the struggle ain't real with EPP, but part of the challenge when you glue base is if you get that glue close to the edge, then it's hard to get through. But here, since there's no glue holding that fabric down, it is so easy to get in that pocket right there. And I'm even using a smaller, thinner needle than I generally do because I don't have any resistance. So I'm not bending it, I'm not forcing it in there, it's just getting in there. And so I love, 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 love this for this. And once I get to the end, I'm gonna show you 2 things. I'm gonna show you how the seam just naturally lays flat, which was my concern. I thought it would be like a party of seams on the back with no like rhyme or reason, but nope, not what happens. So dun, dun, dun. Here we go. So now I'm gonna open the seam up. See how it just lays there? It lays there like it was basted, but it's not. See, it's not basted there. And then look at this. Boom, I'll get close up on this. See, you cannot see the stitches since there's nothing holding it back. Look at that. And that was a sloppy whip stitch, y'all. So boom, I am so excited. Try these out for your English paper piecing lovers. And if you are nervous about English paper piecing, then this is a great way to get into it. And I'm gonna show you, for those who have always been curious about English paper piecing on your sewing machine, that's what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so yay, now I'm over at Felicia to show you how you can use your domestic sewing machine on these. And I have pre-cut and basted the 1.5 inch hexagons. I really thought about the best use for this for me because I don't have any problem with Y seams, but there is a certain size where English paper piecing is kind of silly at this size unless you really want to, and it would be hard, honestly, to sew this size without this template on here. So this is like a mid-range hexie that I wanted to demo for y'all so that you can see. So I've pre-basted 3 of these hexagons, and I'm gonna sew 2 together, and then I'm going to sew those 2 to another one so that you can see the real benefit that I'm talking about. So now I'm going to get over to Felicia, and let's sew these 2 together. But the first thing, you don't need a template for both of them. So let's just pretend like I took that and added it to another piece of fabric, because if you use that at a quarter ruler, then it is perfect. And then you just use this as a guide. Like, that's it. See? You sew right to the right of it, to the edge of it. You don't sew the paper. And then, this is wackadoodle, see? And this is where the seam thing is happening that I was talking about earlier. Since there wasn't that pressure, it's not naturally open, but you could finger press it, no problem. And then, look at this, taking this off again, right? So now I have these 2, right? And I'm going to use this. And this is where I feel like this template is really going to give you the bang for the buck, because, and this is what I predict. I haven't done this. This is in real time, my very first time, that I think that this will allow it to be perfect. Which, even though I love sewing Y seams, it's not always perfect whenever you sew it regular. So if I can get right up to, let me lift it, make sure I'm at the corner. And then I'm gonna hand crank it, get right at the corner. Because at that corner is where you want to pivot. You want it to be perfect. So now I'm going to pivot. And then I'm going to turn this. And then it should line up perfectly because of geometry. And, it did. Oh my goodness. This is going to be one amazing Y seam, I predict. Okay. So, let me flatten this one out. And this is all the stuff you would do if you were sewing a Y seam, just to make it perfect. And then boom, and then you sew right back up. Okay, let me see. Whoa, 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 whoa. No kidding, look at that. If you've sewn a Y seam before, you know the struggle that I'm talking about. And I've sewn a bajillion of them. Look at how crisp that is. That's crazy. Okay, I'm sold. I'm gonna do this for my hexies now, my larger hexies whenever I sew on my machine, because crisp, crisp, crisp. And I'm really excited. So, yay, Becky Campbell. This product is amazing. Sorry I was a little resistant. I was that old person that just didn't want to change the way I was doing things. But all of y'all, if you've ever done English paper piecing, if you've tried it and you didn't like it, if you've been intimidated or scared, this is an amazing product to try. Hands down, 100% endorsed by Mr. Domestic. So if you enjoyed this video, got a laugh or a tip or a trick or just had some fun, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep it positive, y'all. Mr. Domestic out.